Hello, I'm Colin Brown, and I'd like to welcome Mr. Jack L. Esp, Republican nominee for House District 21.
Correct.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm going to ask our first question, which is, please could you tell us at least 3 of your positions that would encourage a senior or person with disabilities to vote for you?
Well, probably the first one is my age. I am a senior. I am in good health, thank God, and I don't need these senior services, but I am blessed that they're here when that time comes. Beyond that, I do have family members that may need them in short order, and I was checking with the people here this morning on some of the requirements and how those worked, and it looked very beneficial for many people. The third thing is mental health. It's a drastic need here in our county as well as our state, and that is something that this organization is addressing and working to help solve over the long term.
Thank you very much. Our second question. Oregon Project Independence is a program that has kept seniors and people with disabilities in their own home. And yet every year proposed funding for OPI is significantly cut. What will you do to ensure and protect funding for this cost-effective program?
Looking at the statistics that were provided me this morning when I was here, we can service about 2.5 individuals on OPI versus on the other programs here that are subsidized by Medicaid and the federal government. So by staying with OPI, we are serving more of the public, where there is a long waiting list right now to get into that service. The other 3 entities all have mandatory participation. They can't turn any of the employees or candidates down. So they're all being treated. It's the OPI that has the waiting list and needs the most attention.
Thank you very much. Our third question, sir. What will you do on a state level so that seniors and people with disabilities no longer face a lack of accessible and affordable housing?
That one is a little more hard to address, but it's a good one. The majority of the housing situation on people in OPI, they need like residential care, not residential care centers, I mean group homes, where they can go into a home setting, still be part of society, and work with that. There should be a program, and maybe it is state directed, where there is education out to the public that are qualified to provide group homes. There's a lot of these homes out here with middle-aged people, not young people with young children, and not old seniors, that have multiple bedrooms that could take in a lot of these residents and help them through that. I think that's probably the best place to start.
Thank you again. Thank you very much. Question 4. So, how would you prioritize state funding, including funding that is matched with federal funds, for services to an increasingly senior and people with disabilities population?
I look at this whole funding thing a little different than most people do. I'm a finance officer, or was, and I look at the chart provided me here, where it costs $332 a month for a first level person in the program we've been talking about, and we look into the other 3 programs which are federally funded, matched, or assisted, and we can treat a lot more people at the lower end, and we don't have a mandatory. But with the mandatory, we have to get the legislature to provide the money for that without rating the lower end.
Thank you. Our last question. how will your experience, your life experience and business experience, shape the work that you will do on behalf of seniors and people with disabilities?
Well, my entire business career has been as a executive in healthcare, specifically hospitals. I've worked in with mentally and aged population most of my life, including drug rehab at Gateway Hospital up in Portland. This has given me an insight in the areas of dealing with these people and providing them with the care they need. Much of it is training, but much of it is just day-to-day assistance to let them remain as independent functioning individuals and maintaining their personal self-respect. I think that's the most important factors.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We've actually finished our round of questionings, so I'd like to thank you very much, Mr. Jack L. Esp, and I understand the L is important, and wish you luck as you compete as Republican nominee for House District 21. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Colin.